Welcome back, everybody, to Vino Frankel, a Taste of Sculpterra, to the 16th podcast that I've recorded about Sculpterra, Arroway, the grape-growing winemaking, the Paso wine industry as a whole, everything related to wine. It's a fun topic. There's a lot to wine. There's a lot to learn and love and get into. So, I'm back. And please, before we go any further, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified when a new podcast is up. So it's a new year. It's 2026. And again, we record this every week. It goes up on YouTube every Thursday. So please leave us a comment. Ask questions. I love answering your questions. So today we have two guests in the Paso Robles podcast studios. I'll have them introduce themselves. Let's go to Donna first. Donna.
Hello. My name is Donna Wolfe, and I am the art coordinator at Sculpterra Winery, and I'm also the music coordinator too, which is a new job for me. I also wear a lot of hats. Work with distribution. I help a lot in the back end, but one thing I love to do is work with artists. So this is a fun thing. My very first musician, I had to get Joy Bonner in here. She is so loved and so wonderful. So let me introduce you to Joy Bonner.
Hi, my name is Joy Bonner, and I've been a vocalist for a million years, it feels like. And I've been at Sculpterra for quite a lot of years now, and loving every second of it. We look at Sculpterra as our home away from home. We love it there. Thank you for having us all these years. Appreciate that.
And all
Paul.
of our customers love you. They actually call for you.
Oh, that's so
Joy,
sweet.
Joy. So Joy Bonner, you can find her on Sundays over at Sculpterra Winery. We have her on 3 Sundays a month. We may get you on 4, so we're going to be working a lot into 2026. This is weird to say 2026. We're working on a lot of musicians coming in and out, but Joy Bonner is always there, and so is Adam Levine with his Saturday afternoon live band. So we have those as constant, and Pat Pearson's a constant one too, Pat Pearson Project. So we are looking to have some newer ones too. And so we're excited. We're excited to have Joy here, and much more to come. Definitely.
Yep.
Joy, yeah, what's great is you play music at Sculpterra all these years, and I think you work hard at it, which has always impressed me. If it's hot, cold, raining, not raining, I mean, you normally always show up and you'll do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say, as a singer-songwriter, as a singer, your voice is always in tune. And I have to tell you, you have that high range, you have that low range. It is perfect.
Oh,
so that's one thing I admire so much about you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I mean, she could be singing for 3 hours, and all of a sudden, she's still going. And she still has the pitch. She has everything. Because in the past, I've heard some people that did not have a good pitch, but they were out there. But you, I really admire that. Your vocals, your energy just brings a lot to everyone, and they enjoy it so much. So thank you.
Oh, gosh, thank you. That's a very high compliment. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, on this episode, for the wine tasting portion, we're going to try Maquette, which is a Cab Franc Merlot Petit Verdot blend. I brought a 2022, which is the current release, and then 2023, which is coming out sometime this year. So we're going to taste those. They'll be fun, different. We haven't tried Maquette yet on the podcast. And next up is what's going on in the vineyard and winery. Well, it was the end of the year, which is an important time for me when I count all the wine, count all the cases, count all the barrels, organize, lots of reporting and spreadsheets, and made for a long couple days. But I did it. I enjoyed doing it and figuring out.
And Darren did a lot too. Oh,
yep.
My gosh.
We stay up late Christmas Eve. We get up early Christmas, New Year's Day. I got up at 2 a.m., got to the winery by 3, and just did one report after another, and it all made sense. Sometimes you're thinking, like, is this report going to make sense? And it did. So that was great. And we're checking malolactic fermentation. So I'm climbing on the barrels right now. I'm taking a little bit of wine out from each barrel, from each lot, take it to the lab, and they can verify if the wine is finished with secondary fermentation, malolactic. And if it is, then we can rack the wine and return it. So that's our current winery project. We've gotten a lot of rain A lot of rain. We're up to 10.5 inches for the season. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but the season is from June to June. So since June 25, and it'll go till June or till June 31st, 2026. So we're way above average right now
for
rainfall. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're 10.5 inches. The year we had the 2022, 2023, where we had 28 inches of rain, we had only reached 7 inches to this point. So that's a good sign. It's a really good sign. Right now, the rest of January doesn't show rain, but that could change, and we'll see what happens in February and March. But 10.5 inches for us is great. And our creek ran 3 times. It ran Christmas Day, it stopped. It ran New Year's Day and stopped. And then it ran on Saturday, Sunday. So we've been playing in the creek. My son, wife, and I, we took pictures of us going through it. And it's magical. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, I get so excited when the creek's running. Like, we keep checking, is the creek running? And what's funny is it always happens after the rain. Like, it makes sense because, it rains really hard. And then 6 hours later, all the runoff has to collect for it to happen. So in this picture, my son's making a dam. So we found where the creek stops. So we're bringing sand and shovels and trying to build it up, and it'll last a couple minutes, and then the creek takes over and pushes it.
And your son's name is Abraham.
Yep. He's 11 years old, and he's at that perfect age for playing in the creek. There I am, and I like playing in the creek. So
it's a fun thing to do.
I always feel like, too, the years that the creek runs are good years in the vineyard, where like the wines come out great. So it's a good start of the year. And now that the creeks ran, every time it rains, it's going to run because the ground is all the way saturated. But great. It's great to see this much rain. The Salinas River is going really good right now. What about out in Santa Margarita?
It's pretty high. The water table's high. I get a lot of questions, Paul, from customers that say, well, is all this water going to ruin the grapes? I'm like, no. And sometimes they think that when the grapes are picked, the grapes are done and they're dead. And I'm like, no, think of them like roses. They'll come back in the springtime. Mm-hmm. So I try to explain that to them.
That's perfect.
So, yeah. So the rain is good.
Yes, a lot of people we want as much as we can.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't want rain during harvest when we're picking the grapes. We don't want the grapes to get wet, but the vines in the off season bring on the rain as much as we can get. Okay, well, great. So we're getting rain. I still don't have all of my team back. Some of them are still in Mexico on vacation. Some are coming back Monday the 12th. Some are back Monday the 19th. And then I'll have everybody, my 6 people, back in the vineyard pruning and tractor driving and all the jobs that we need to do once the ground dries out. Okay, well, I want to ask Joy some questions here because she's our special guest today. Like we said, she's been playing at Sculpterra for years and years and years, and she does an amazing job, and she has a following. Just like Donna was saying, we get people that, every time she's playing, we get a big group of people that want to see her play. So,
I love
Joy,
those people.
Joy, who are the biggest musical influences for you, and which artists inspire your way of singing, vocal delivery?
Well, I had an older sister, and she was a fantastic, amazing singer, and she would be my top influence, obviously, because I was really young, and I'd go to the bars with my parents and watch her sing, and she was really, really great. She was very soulful. Back in the day, she did some Dixieland music, but she did a lot of blues, and so those were my roots right there. But I love Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner. I like that soul music, but I like rock and roll too. So,
did you sing with your sister? Because that's always amazing when it's
not really.
When it's family members, because they sound similar and they can harmonize together, and that's great.
I was a lot younger than her. She was 8 years older, so I didn't really get the opportunity to sing with her too much. I did do a little bit of background singing for her occasionally, but I didn't understand background singing. It was hard.
Yeah.
So,
got to pay attention, huh?
Yeah, it's way different than singing lead.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention to what they're doing. But I would just be in awe of her because she was so emotional, and just she was incredible.
Where did you guys grow up?
I was born in Arkansas, and
Okay.
then we moved to Santa Cruz, and so I lived. I call Santa Cruz my home because
Okay.
that's where I went to school and everything.
Yeah.
And then I was in LA for a really long time, singing down there, and moved to New York for a minute, and then back to Santa Cruz, and moved here because I got married to somebody who lived here. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Do your mom and dad, are they musically gifted, talented? Do they play music?
my dad had a beautiful voice, and his whole family sang at church and stuff like that. And my dad had a beautiful voice. My mom could not carry a tune in a bucket. She was the worst. But somehow my mom understood about singing from the diaphragm, which is where you have to bring your breath in, and so you have enough breath to sing. Somehow she understood that and taught my sister that. We never really had lessons or anything. We were very poor. We didn't have lessons. We just did it.
Wow.
So that was our schooling. Just go out and do it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
So your dad sang. Did he play an instrument as well?
No, he had a nice voice. He didn't sing for a living or anything. He just liked to sing. And my sister and my dad would sing together a lot. And I sang with my dad a little bit. He got sick. He got Alzheimer's. And so I would go to the home and I'd sing with him. And he couldn't remember anything, but he could still sing.
That's
It's an
what I've
amazing
heard.
thing.
It's a different part of your brain.
That's right.
Yeah.
Your creative part versus your mathematical part or
That's
your
absolutely true.
speaking part.
And now I, aside from singing at Sculpterra and other places and private, events, I go to sing at senior homes.
Oh, that's
I
wonderful.
do a lot of that, and I sing a lot of jazz standards and old rock and roll and that kind
They
of thing.
appreciate that so much.
For them. They just so connect to the music.
Yes.
It's just beautiful. It really is.
Yep.
All right. Well, what about this question? Describe your best and worst performance.
Yeah, I want to hear all
experiences.
about it.
Okay, well, so as you know, as a singer, singing is really physical. You are.
It's like a workout.
It's a workout. I mean, you are using your whole body to sing. So, when you're sick, it's really hard. And sometimes you just can't, you're croaking it out and you're trying your best, because if you're not able to sing, all the guys in the band can't sing either. They can't play either. So everybody's out of a gig. So I've done many gigs like that, where I just couldn't, I just croaked it out. I had one gig up in San Jose. I was playing at the Fairmont, a really beautiful hotel up there. And it was the Super Bowl, during the Super Bowl. And Bruno Mars was playing the Super Bowl. And his whole band was staying at the Fairmont.
Oh, cool.
And they were all in the bar. And
Oh, wow.
I was so horrified because I couldn't croak out a note. I couldn't, it just, nothing would come out. And it was so embarrassing because I'm just up there trying to sing and I just sounded horrible. So that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had.
You had a cold? You were sick?
Yeah, I got sick and I just
And
couldn't.
there's Bruno Mars
Yeah,
in the
and
audience.
the whole gang was out there, and they were just dancing and having a good party. And I just was so embarrassed because I just couldn't get anything to come out. So that was one of the worst ones. I've also had a lot of embarrassing things happen on stage, like splitting the back end of my pants, that kind of stuff, because I'm pretty active.
Yes.
I like to dance.
Now she wears spandex.
And occasionally that will happen. You'll have something like that. I've danced off the front of a stage before. And so, those are kind of the bad ones.
What's your favorite and best one that you can remember?
I write songs too, but when I sing at Sculpterra and I sing, gigs around town, I do cover music because people like to dance to and listen to what they know.
Yeah.
But I've written a lot of songs and I have a couple of CDs out. But I got to go to Belgium to promote a song that I had on the radio there. And
So cool.
it was really, really cool.
That's
And I
wonderful.
was I got to sing for a TV show. And that was probably one of the highlights for me.
Oh, that's great.
It was really great, and so I got to do that, and the first time hearing it on the radio was like such. The guitar player and I were there, and we co-wrote the song, and
That's us.
And we heard on the radio, and I just started crying, and I think he was crying too. It was just so emotional to hear your song like on the airwaves like that. You probably have had that feeling before.
Commercials.
It was really great. It was a great feeling.
That's great.
incredible.
I love that. I love that.
What qualities do you look for in bandmates?
I want them to be really nice people.
We're done with mean people.
We spend so much time together,
Yeah,
and
it's a family.
They're like become brothers to me. Mm-hmm. Brothers and sisters to me. So I always want them to be my friend and be friends with me. That's the music part. Of course, obviously, you want great musicians, and I am so blessed to sing with the best players in town. I'm just really blessed to be able to do that, but I look for personalities and musicianship.
Yeah. I remember way back when I was playing, a friend gave me some wonderful advice and said, "Can you travel with this person? And if it's no, they should not be in your band."
That's absolutely true.
I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They're always grumpy.
So not grumpy is always good.
Yeah.
She's not grumpy. I love it.
Joy, have you ever taken anyone under your wing? Mentored any other musician?
When I lived in Los Angeles, my best friend Holly Dexter, another female singer-songwriter, we had a program called Music Heals. And we worked with senior citizens and at-risk teenagers. Mm-hmm. And we put them together, and we did art. She was a wonderful artist as well as an amazing singer. We did artwork with them and music with them. And it was so amazing to see that those two groups of people bond like that. It was it was
nice.
really great, really healing for both sides. I mean, a lot of the senior citizens, they didn't have a lot of contact with their grandkids, people are busy. And the kids, a lot of times didn't have families, so it was a chance for them to be around that other generation. And it was really incredible.
Do you give vocal lessons?
No. I'm not trained. I just started doing it.
But you're so good.
Thank you, Donna. But I don't really
be
know
your
what
first
I'm
student.
doing.
Can you read music? Do you know how to read music?
Not really. I mean, I have started and stopped trying to play guitar and piano a million times because I sound so terrible when I'm trying to play that I can't stand to listen to myself. So I just like to sing and dance. So that's what I do. I like to entertain.
Yeah. And you're very good at it.
Awesome. Donna, you're a musician too, and you've had a band. Are you ever going to start up a band again?
I've kind of given up the time I used to do that. I had 3 band members, and one of them plays with us now, Pat Pearson. Him and I played together for 8 years. But no, my husband plays, and he's so good at singer-songwriter. And if there's a song that I'll jump in on, I love it. I love to help him out, or I love to sing a couple of songs that I've written. I've been writing for almost 40 years now. Oh, wow.
That's a lot of songs.
So I have like over 100 songs.
That's amazing.
So not right now, but once in a while I'll jump in with Douglas. We played at the Sensario. I sang a couple songs there. That was really fun. But right now I'm just I like to write. More into writing. But you, Paul, you are a musician. Can I ask you questions?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I remember when Paul was in this band called Candle. Can you tell us about Candle a little bit?
Yeah, Candle was our friends from high school. I started playing music freshman year, just picked up drums, and my friends Patrick and Kevin and John Wilson, they were learning instruments too. We started playing after school, and it was a way for us to hang out. I think was like Joy was just saying, like we were good friends and we'd like to be together. Then we'd like trying to see, hey, can we figure out the song or try this or try that? And we didn't take music lessons. I tried taking learning drums and taking drum lessons a few times and took a couple lessons, but I didn't have the patience for it to do paradiddles and do shuffles and practice the right way, which I should have done. I should have joined the high school band.
Yeah.
That would have been great because they teach you all the fundamentals, all the techniques, everything. But I wanted to play songs. I liked playing with a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
And working out a song. And I love song structure. I'm really into that. And then we recorded our own music. We started a record label, Real Love Records. We started that at the end of high school when I started college. And then I got into recording music, and I would record rain when it was raining and people talking at Urban Outfitters. I would get them walking up the stairs when they weren't looking, and then we'd use that as an intro. Or I would hold a microphone outside my van as we're driving down San Luis Obispo.
You guys did a world tour. I mean, not a world tour.
We did a country
United States tour, didn't you?
Yep.
In the van.
In the van, yeah,
Wow.
I had a 15-passenger van, and 10 of us went on a tour from California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Utah, the Midwest, Nebraska, Minnesota, all the way to the East Coast, and then back through the South, Texas, back here. And it was a great way to see the country. That's what I really learned from this experience. Was I realized then, like, you can't make it as a musician. At least most people can't, because it's a tough life. It's a tough life to be on the road. Very tough. You certainly can't have a family. You can't have a big family.
No.
Maybe you can, but it's very hard. And then, but I loved the experience, and I loved playing for a new crowd every night. I'm sure you guys could talk about that too. It's just when you're in some place new and these people have never heard your music before, it's like and
they stare at you,
and it's exciting. Like they've never heard this song, and we've got this great part in the middle of the song, or we do something different, or it ends abruptly, or whatever it was. It was fun playing for a new crowd.
Would you want to start another band?
No, I don't think so. I'm teaching my son drums, and occasionally I play at church, and.
Are you playing drums at the church?
I may play at ABC when they need someone for the high school group.
Is that the one in Arroyo Grande?
In Atascadero.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, actually, St. Rose is looking for a percussionist for their men's group, so I may start doing that. But it was fun. It was fun for a time with our band, and we all knew that some of us were getting married, having children. It was that moment where, we're going to go on this tour now. We're going to enjoy it. And then afterwards, we're going to go our separate ways, or things are going to change when we get back. But we did a couple tours. We toured California numbers of times. And then we did this big tour where we played 38 shows in 43 days. And a couple of the shows, there wasn't anyone in the crowd. And I had to convince the band to play.
I've done that.
Like, no, we are here. We're going to play.
We've all done that.
And then you do other shows, and there's 100 people, 200 people there. I remember we played in Grand Junction, Colorado. We played at a coffee shop, but it was next to a park. And the coffee shop owner said, actually, you guys should just play in front of the coffee shop facing the park. So we're getting ready to set up, and it was hundreds of people come out with their lawn chairs, and they all come out, and they start sitting down. It was like music in the park. It was like, and you realize, like, in small town America, it's still the thing to do. Like, it's still fun to go see music, because like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, like that was what people did. You didn't have YouTube, you didn't have CDs. Like if you wanted to hear live music, you had to go to shows. Yep. And there's still places in this country that are like that, where people, hey, there's a California band in town. Let's go. Let's everyone show up, and they're just fun experiences.
Paul, who are you listening to now? What kind of music are you listening to now?
Yeah, I'm very eclectic. I listen to a lot of Mexican music because my wife's Mexican, so I bounce around. Juan Gabriel is great, but no, I like the Beatles a lot, and classic rock and blues, and man, I like everything. I like songwriting a lot, but hard to put down just one musician songwriting. I like a lot. I like a lot of music. What would you like
to see being played at Sculpterra in 2026 besides Joy Bonner? We know she's going to be there. Anybody else that you think?
Yeah. Do you remember Dawn Lambeth? She's a jazz musician. She plays at the Madonna Inn, and she's Have you heard of Dawn Lambeth?
I have heard of her. I haven't heard her.
Yeah, I saw her at the Madonna Inn last year, and I remembered that she used to come out and do some of our club parties.
Her.
And she's
that's my job. I'll search for her.
Great voice and good with, just knows a lot of songs.
We got a couple of jazz bands coming up, so you're going to like that. But I will look her up and see if I can reach out to her.
But there's a lot of musicians in our area. I mean, we get emails every day of bands that say, "Hey, I play music," or I'm traveling through the area, or we used to have we had Steve Key did the music for Sculpterra for years, and that was he got an eclectic group of bands all the time.
Yeah,
and a few during the day. It wasn't just one group, right? It was like mixed.
And I was always impressed. Like, where did you hear of these bands, or how are And a lot of the times they were traveling through the area, or they were first time bands, or they were been musicians for maybe like some crazy connection. Like he was the backup guitarist in some like in Hair or Fleetwood Mac, or there's been some crazy connections.
Muddy Waters like Sun play at Sculpterra that was crazy, and it was packed, and they wanted me to party with them afterwards. I'm like, no, I'm going home. Those days are over. But that was really fun.
We
have a lot of opportunities for to get in different musicians.
It's exciting to hear new music out there, and I appreciate anyone who sends me an email and they send me their link to, their music. I appreciate it, but we have kind of little areas that we can put them in. But right now we have Adam Levine, the Pat Pearson Project, and Joy Bonner. So those guys are always kind of permanently there. And we also have Doyle Davis. He's going to be in there once a month.
Love Doyle.
So we are excited to have him back. He's on vacation right now, but he's going to be back, I think, in March. So we're going to get him back.
You guys, don't you find music is just magical?
Yeah.
When you're on stage, like you were talking about that, when you're on stage and you are having that incredible moment, it's like everything fades away and it's just magic.
Yeah.
The people you're playing with, the song, the audience, it's just everything clicks together, and it's really just an incredible, magical moment.
It is. I remember one time I was playing at the Mid-State Fair, and these two little girls were probably 6 or 7. They were in front of me just staring at me. And I told them, I go, you can do this too.
That's so
That was
sweet.
one of my favorite moments, was seeing these two young girls look at me, and I just told them that you can do this too, So
That's so sweet.
It was really fun. It's always fun, those moments. Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to my World of Wine section, when I talk about something in the wine industry, some topical news happening. This is a topic that gets brought up a lot when we're picking grapes, is do we sort fruit? Which basically means, you keep the good grapes and you throw out the bad grapes. Well, it's gotten a little crazy in California because now there's equipment that can optical sort. It can use sensors, lasers, eyeballs, finger methods. So it just selects the best grapes after it's been harvested. But years ago, I met a French guy, and he looked at me. We were talking about that. I think it was at the tasting room. He was tasting wine. He said, "You guys are nuts. You guys are sorting out the terroir. You're taking it so far, where you only have one taste, one type of grape. You only have the perfect acid, bricks, sugar. Instead of having, the underripe and the overripe, which will give you different flavors, and then you've got the perfectly ripe, which is another flavor, you get different tastes. Well, if you're only sorting and picking one type of grape, you only get one type of flavor." And that really made an impact on me. And I thought about that. I'm like, yeah, that's really true.
Is that Sebastian?
No, this was someone else.
Oh,
someone else that I met. The Sebastian liked to sort. He liked to just throw out anything that was raisiny or anything that was green.
Sebastian was a guy that helped us with the winery, and he also did. Is also a host of pouring wine. He was interesting. He taught me a lot too. So
yeah,
I love that idea of the newer and the older, and you kind of mix them together.
Right.
You say it's so much better than
the new world, the new world and the old world. But yeah, it's an interesting topic because what I like to tell people is we don't need to sort the grapes, because it's like whatever you do in the vineyard, the more you do in the vineyard, the less you have to do in the winery. So if you grow the grapes the right way, that starts with pruning and shoot thinning and leaf pulling and training the vines. Every cluster we pick, we're sending to the winery. We don't have to use all this fancy equipment to sort out and do this stuff. But I mean, it's really popular, really popular. Most Paso wineries have a sorting table, and they have a crew of people that'll just pick out a grape here and there. They have a table, and the grapes go on by, floating by, and they take out, oh, this grape was too raisiny. This grape was green. This grape was eaten by a bird or something. So they just pull in, and and in their mind, they're improving the wine. So maybe it's marketing. Maybe you could charge more for the wines that have been sorted because it's another process. You have to pay these people to do this sort of stuff. I think it's a little nuts. I think it's crazy. Again, I think that you need all those different types of grapes that'll eventually make it into the fermentation and give you the full taste of the vineyard. Because that's what I strive for. When I'm making wine, I want you to be able to taste, the Hilltop Cabernet tastes like the Hilltop Cabernet. If we sort out all the grapes and we're just getting one style of grape from that block, then you don't get the full flavor of that vineyard. So,
did you do that in the beginning when you were a winemaker? Did you do it differently than you're doing it now?
Yeah,
I
thought it was a good thing. I thought you should sort. I mean, certainly if you have rot or if you have mildew or mold, you should eliminate that. But I'm not talking about rot, mildew, mold. I'm just talking about underripe and overripe or different levels of ripeness. But yeah, when I started making wine, I didn't know what exactly you should do, if you should just pick everything and make it as a batch, or it makes the most sense that you should only use the best grapes to make the best wine. But it doesn't work that way, because think about it. The overripe grapes are really sweet, which will create higher alcohol, and the underripe grapes are not so sweet, which is lower alcohol, but they have better acid. But when it's all blended together, it'll balance itself out. It works, it equalizes itself. So yeah, just the more I did it, I was scratching my head saying, why do people do this? Why is, it's not necessary. I used to have a person in the vineyard while we pick, and her job would just be look for bad grapes and throw them on the ground. But not necessary. Doesn't need to happen. Does not need to happen. Okay. Wonderful. Moving on. Well, we've got our event calendar, Sculpterra event calendar. We've got the Manny's Pizza Winemaker Dinner. I just updated it. We sold some tickets the last few days. We're up to 25 tickets sold. We're going to cap it at 32. So please, you've got 1 week left. It's Thursday, January 15th, so it's 1 week away. The menu looks great. There's shrimp and chorizo pizza. There's a chicken pizza. There's a meat lovers pizza. There's salad, flan as a dessert.
Yep.
So
I love
paired
flan.
with our wine.
Too.
So I've got the whole menu figured out. We're doing Mega Focus, Figurine, Primitivo Port, Viognier. So it's going to be fabulous.
And to purchase the tickets, you want to go to sculpterra.com, go under events, and you'll see it on, actually, I think it's on the very first page, but you can go to events and you can click on there and it'll show you the ticket there and you can pay through there. So it's really easy to do.
Yeah, if you're a wine club member, it'll automatically give you your wine club
Discount.
price
Yep.
when you're logged in. And then we've got our open house parties, February 21st, 22nd, and we'll have Joy playing on that on the Sunday afternoon.
Yay.
So we're hoping it's nice weather, nice day. That'll
It's
be
going
in the
to be.
gazebos.
It's going to be.
And that party will probably cap at 125 people. We're about halfway there right now. So if you're a wine club member watching this right now, get your ticket. It's free, but you still need to purchase a free ticket.
Are we doing it at the gazebo again?
Yes. We'll take over both the gazebos, the check-in area, and use the concrete in the middle. It's a good space. Works out great. And then I'm doing a blending party, February 28th. This is one of our nerd out on wine events where you can really, really learn a lot about blending wine. I go into depth about the vineyards. And this year we're going to blend Petit Syrah, Petit Verdot, Cab Franc, Cabernet. So we're going to do kind of an oddball, whatever blend you can come up with. And it's a competition. The winning table gets their own magnum, their own label. We label it, cork it, wax it, do it all for them right there.
Oh, fun.
And it's a meal. It's paired with food.
And is it going to
Great.
be at the production site?
Yes.
Which is really cool. They get to see where you actually make the wine, which is wonderful.
we meet at the tasting room, and then everyone goes with me, and we go to the winery. So it's going to be intimate. We usually get 12 to 24 people. So great opportunity for you to ask questions and learn. And we get wine club members that make wine. They make home wine. They make wine from their grapes in their backyard. We have quite a few club members that do that. So they get a kick out of it, and they always learn something new. Great. All right. Well, I have my too much information, which we kind of talked about already. I was talking about how, speaking of music, I said that I started a record label, Real Love Records. I got a business license for it, and we had 5 bands on the label.
Wow.
back in the heyday
Remember
of doing
when we
it.
used to sell your CDs in the tasting room where our chocolate is? It was in the
was so
corner.
fun.
And I remember his CDs were all there. It was wonderful, all the different ones.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and I think too, a lot of people thought, like, during school, like, hey, what are those kids doing? Why are they going out to Paul's property? They're probably getting into trouble, probably drinking or smoking. But no, we were just playing music. And then we camped out on the Vista Point a lot. And we'd bring our acoustic guitars and write music. Then we go down to the barn where I had my drum set. And it was a room just like this. And we'd fit 6 people in a little room with half stacks and a full drum set and a PA system. Like, how did we do this? And then I would light candles. One of our bandmates' hair caught on fire one time.
Oh my God.
Like, you get that horrible smell. Like, what's
going
he had
on?
a nice afro. Andy Toby watches this podcast, and his hair caught on fire. It was fun, but
Oh, Andy, Toby.
great times. So yeah, I think I really encourage kids to play music. I know Matt's music locally. I know a lot of music stores. It's tough because kids aren't buying instruments. I know nowadays there's a push towards learning to sing, which is great. Like the American Idol, or what are those other TV shows? The singing competitions. There's more.
The voice.
Yeah, there's more of a push for singing, which is awesome. Be great if I could sing. But learning an instrument and playing with other people. Like we talked about how you build relationships and you find people to play with, and it's a great experience, and it's a good thing to do.
I think music programs should always be in schools. When I was little, they would just have a record player, and then they would hold a picture of the instrument so you could see it. And we'd be all,
Really?
that's a violin. So I just think it's important because I had a teacher who played guitar. And when she played, she wouldn't let us touch the guitar. But when she wasn't looking, I'd like, touch it. Just touch it. So to me, it was like sacred. So when someone had a guitar, I'm like, let's play it. So I thought it was really important for schools to actually have instruments for people to play, So
Did you ever go to the Guitar Center in Oxnard, have that experience,
Yes.
and you got to try out
I just
everything?
went in there and smelled the guitars, but that's lovely. But yes, that is kind of like going into a candy store.
Yeah.
Yes, we have so many guitars right now. Let's not talk about it.
All right, well, let's move to my animals in the vineyard section. We have many different types of animals. Today I want to talk about the woodpecker. Okay, so we have
I love
lots
the
of woodpeckers. We have specifically the acorn woodpecker shown up here on your screen. The males have this nice red
And they stick
crown.
the acorns inside
Yeah.
the tree.
Well,
That's crazy.
interestingly, my dad always told me that the woodpeckers put the acorns in the tree as bait, because then a little worm goes in and starts eating the
Interesting.
acorn.
I did not know that.
The woodpecker comes back and eats the worm. But from the research I did for this topic today, it said that woodpeckers, they just like to store enough
And then
food.
they forget where it's at.
Right, and they just hoard. They just hoard and hoard and store and store. And they store
Where
the
did I put it?
acorns in small places, in tight places, because there's less chance of it getting mold and mildew in a small place. And also, so the squirrels can't get it later. So they're basically just making a storage for themselves,
Yeah.
just constantly, and they can't help themselves. They're always just storing and storing and storing, because they don't migrate like other birds. Birds fly south for the winter. Woodpeckers stay where they were born. So they store acorns. So in the wintertime, they've got food to eat.
They're hoarders.
They're big time hoarders.
Acorn hoarders.
You have to
We
be
should have a
careful of
show
those
on that.
acorns too.
But if you go into where we have weddings, we have a huge California coastal oak tree. Inside it, you'll see all the acorns in there. I don't think people notice that, but I've noticed that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a great bird, really pretty. And yeah, I didn't know this, but they hoard the acorns. But I still think that they're doing it as bait to eat a worm. So
Maybe both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Combo.
Okay, well, nerd out on wine. This is fun. We get to talk about something specific, nerdy related. And I brought my show and tell. I brought my wine aroma wheel here, which
Cool.
is when I write wine notes, I use this a lot because I'm saying, if I want to describe the wine having red fruit, well, is it cranberry, pomegranate, red plum, cherry, strawberry, raspberry? It has a red fruit aroma, but what specifically type of red fruit am I smelling and describing? But there's a lot of people get aromas and bouquets mixed up, which I wanted to share right now. So aromas are flavors and characteristics derived from the vineyard. So the aroma of wine is anything before the grapes are crushed. So the aroma could be something in the soil. It could be the grapes got overripe in the sun, so they're a lot of raisin aromas to them. Or the grapes were picked early and they were green and underripe, so the aroma could be green olive and bay leaf and bell pepper, those underripe characteristics. So those are the aromas of wine that it's derived from the vineyard. The bouquet of wine is anything that happens after the grapes are crushed. So those are the flavors and characteristics that are derived after wine or during winemaking. So that's from fermentation, yeast, and anything that the yeast are contributing to the flavors. And you've got oak barrels, that's part of the bouquet, smoke and oak and toast and tobacco and vanilla, butterscotch bouquets. Yeah. Or the bouquet could be part of the aging process too. As wines age, they oxidize, they get caramelized, the flavors change. That's part of the bouquet. But I hear it all the time. People say, the aroma is oaky. Now, the aroma can't be oaky because oaky is part of the bouquet. But the aroma could be cherry, berry, anything from the vineyard. The bouquet is afterwards. So if you want to impress your friends next time you're wine tasting, you could tell them the difference between aroma and bouquet. Did you guys know this?
No.
Interesting,
I knew
isn't it?
some of it, not all of it, but some of it.
Yeah. It gets mixed up a lot because it is confusing because you can have an aroma that smells like the soil, it can like flinty minerality. There's those. So you maybe in your mind you're thinking
shavings.
Yeah, maybe you're thinking that is from winemaking,
like
but actually that's from the vineyard.
Charcoal. Yeah. And there is an interesting thing that does happen once in a while at the tasting room. People will read their notes and go, "Oh, banana, fruit. Is that what you add to the wine?" I'm like, "No. I sometimes just want to say yes. We add bananas in there." No, but I don't. I'm cool.
Yeah, I always.
But a lot of people ask that, which is amazing to me. They're learning about wine. I go, this is a way for you to kind of relate to the smell of the wine.
Like if you've ever had underripe fruit, it doesn't taste like. If you have an underripe strawberry, it may not taste like a strawberry. Mm-hmm. It'll taste like a green bean, or it'll have a green vegetal taste. If you have an overripe strawberry, it may not taste like a strawberry. It may taste like a raisin or plum. So wine is the same way. Depending on the level of ripeness, how it's picked will change the flavors.
And the more you taste, the better your nose is going to be, the better your taste is going to be.
Yep.
And there are wine games out there that you can actually smell and try to guess what it is. Didn't we have that game one time?
Yeah, we had a wine kit, which is the essence of vanilla, essence of very potent flavors. And you
Take it out of your attic and bring it here.
We'll do it. We will do it. Okay, well, moving on to the mailbag, but mailbag. Donna, you want to ask me these questions here? I have something prepared.
Sure. What is the day of Epiphany?
Day of Epiphany.
Epiphany. Wiseman Day, or what?
Yes. So today is January 6th, which is in the Catholic calendar and tradition, specifically in the Spanish Mexican Catholic calendar. This is the day that the wise men go to the manger. They see baby Jesus. They follow the star. They find him. And we have a celebration. And we celebrate by baking a cake. It's called it's the wise man cake. Rosca de Reyes, which would mean like the jewel cake or the rock cake.
Who's making it?
My wife has never made one, but we've never had an oven. We've had a lot of oven trouble in the 13 years we've been married. Now we have an oven that works, and she's getting some help with another cousin of hers, and they're gonna bake one today. But it's great. So you see how the cake has jewels, so that represents
It's beautiful.
the crown of the wise men of the three.
I love it.
Magi
I'd like to eat some
that
of
came.
that.
If she does make some, I would love to taste it.
Yeah, me too.
And what they do is they put a baby Jesus inside the cake, a small little baby Jesus
Just don't choke on it.
figurine, and whoever finds it in their slice, they make the tamales a month later. So then it's their job to make tamales.
That's
They got
new to me.
I hope
recruited.
you get that one. Get
Yeah.
the slice with that, Donna.
Yeah. I want the baby Jesus.
Get the
I will
baby
make
Jesus.
tamales.
Make the tamales.
Yes.
It might not be so good.
Rosca de Reyes. Yeah, and tonight when we eat the rosca, I wanted to see what pairs best with it, because I was maybe thinking Viognier, Rosé, but then maybe one of the red wines. So I'm going to find out.
Grenache.
Maybe Grenache, yeah. Rosca de Reyes. Okay. Happy Wiseman Day, everybody. All right, well, let's taste some wine. We've got two wines I want to try. Maquette 22, Maquette 23. Can you pour the 23? Got 23?
Oh, wait. Yes, I had 23.
Okay, just a little bit here. You can get one to Joy as well.
I was going to smell it.
There we go. Yeah, so Maquette. Donna can hold up the bottle here. Actually, yeah. Here you go. For you. We've been making this blend since 2006, so it's been around a long time. And Maquette in French means model or mock-up.
model.
It's the miniature. It's a sculpture you make before you make the finished piece. It's the model or
My
mock-up.
fingers in the way here.
No, that looks good.
There you
Maquette.
Maquette. We can't forget Maquette. And Maquette just means small version of a larger version. So a lot of sculptors like to work with maquettes first before they make a large one. So we call this Maquette.
Yep.
And it has the beautiful sculpture, one of your dad's favorite.
Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. Yeah, so it's a blend of Cabernet, Cab Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, a Bordeaux blend, a traditional Bordeaux blend. So if you were in France, in Bordeaux, and you're having a blend, it could be any of these four grapes. It could be Malbec, Carmenere is also grapes that they use. But what works great with this wine, it has a lot of body. It has a big finish to it. And you get a lot of...
I like the tannins at the end, the fruit forward and then tannins.
Yeah, this one is going to be a hefty wine. It's going to have a lot to it and complex because it's blending 4 different grapes.
It smells yummy.
It is yummy.
Yeah, very tannic, very ageable. But tasting great. This was 2023, so this was... I always
Can you
keep
hold that for one
telling
second?
people,
Give you this.
this was the year we got all the rain, and it did some interesting things in the vineyard. I think the wines coming out from 2023 are just tasting wonderfully. So it was only 11% new oak. So all depending on the year, sometimes I'll do 100% new oak or 50% new oak, kind of depending on what I feel the wine needs. And this wine tastes great, really good. It won't be officially released till the end of this year. This will be in the November Collectors Club shipment 2026. So it's got almost another year in the bottle. So it's gonna get better and better.
How long does a barrel last? Because a lot of people ask, how long does Paul keep his barrels? And I guessed I'm sorry about that, but I said 4 to 5 years, maybe 6.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The
I guess
punch-ons, the
right.
bigger
Oh,
barrels, 500 liters, we've kept those up to 10 years because the wood is twice as thick. It holds up. And as long as you take care of them, you either keep them filled with wine or with water, and you steam them, rinse them, take care of them, they can last a long time. But certainly by the third use, it's a neutral barrel. It's lost its oaky taste. But it's still a good place to age the wine because of the oxidation that happens. Okay, we're going to try the next Maquette. This is going back 1 year, 2022. Aha. Pour this here? Okay.
Yeah.
2022 Maquette.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, again, what's great about Paso is we grow Zinfandel, we grow Cabernet, we grow Syrah. We have such a wide array of wines that we grow.
I'll take the bottom. There we go.
Okay. So this one could be purchased at the tasting room. Actually, right now,
That was loud.
Beautiful
we're
sound.
selling the 2021. We're almost out of the 2021. And then you'll see this wine at the tasting room, the 2022. So you see it has a different color. It's got more of an oxidized color, more of that red brick color
Yeah, a little
rather
bit.
than that purpley color. It's starting to show its age compared to the 23, which is young and vibrant.
A soft hue of the brown on the a little bit.
But they smell really similar. They really have a lot in common. Again, it's a different percentage of grapes, but I'm using the same blocks, same vineyards. Maquette 22. This is a great wine. You know, people like, you know, red wine and steak. This is the one for that. And pastas, red sauce.
So you have your wheel.
Yes.
I have a wheel too in the tasting room. It is a food pairing wheel. So if someone comes in and goes, I'm having fish tonight, what should I pair it with?
Oh, that's good.
Hold on, let me get my wheel. So I have a tiny wheel. It's not as large as your wheel, but it is helpful. Because like this, I would love to pair it with steak.
Yeah.
And if you don't eat meat, you could do a portobello mushroom with some blue cheese crumble on top,
Ooh, I like
with
that.
some sautéed shallot, onions or
You're
something.
making me hungry right now.
These wines taste really similar. I'm surprised by this. I mean, they're different years, but wow. I mean, it's just this one you can tell is more opened up. It's had more time to
You're right.
show itself, but
You're
very
right.
similar.
Yeah, it is.
Amazingly similar. All right. Well, Joy, thank you for being here. This was really special. All these years you've been playing at Sculpterra, doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you so much.
we appreciate you so much.
I have enjoyed every moment of it. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I look forward to many, many more gigs at Sculpterra.
Yay!
You said,
She's always there on Sundays between 12:30 and 3:30.
and
Donna.
can you share, Joy, where people can
Find your music.
find your music, your website, whatever you got?
Oh, I have a website, joybonner.com.
Well, that's easy.
Easy peasy, yeah. there's two N's in that Bonner.
Okay.
Yes. We'll put
B-O-N-N-E-R.
a link in the description. And you've got a couple CDs for sale, you said? Do you
No,
have any
not
music
really. I
at
mean,
the moment?
people don't buy CDs anymore.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, can they download your music?
You know, I'm trying to get that together.
Okay,
And
so you're working
eventually
on
I
that.
will. Yeah.
That's our 2026.
I'm,
Yay!
I'm actually working on a jazz CD. So hopefully I'll have that
Exciting.
pretty soon.
What about Spotify, Apple Music, those things?
Gonna work on that.
Nice.
Yeah. It's work in motion, right?
Yeah.
I understand that.
So if you want to listen to Joy, come to Sculpterra. She plays pretty much every Sunday. Like she said, she's an entertainer. She loves it. She gets people dancing.
Yep.
Get them up and moving. Get them
And don't
rocking
worry
and rolling.
about food. We have a food truck there every Sunday right next to Joy Bonner's stage. So it's a fun day. It is a fun
It's
day.
an awesome day. We have a blast. So much fun.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a great week. We will be back next time. Goodbye.